Okay, what are the primary federal laws protecting an employee's right to privacy in the workplace? Generally, with private employer, an employee still maintains some level of protection or right against intrusion of their privacy, even in the workplace. Okay, generally, the Electronic Communication Privacy Act prevents employers from recording communications from employees in the work environments. The employer couldn't put wiretaps in or sound enabled recording to record the employee in the work environment unless there were a justification or reason for doing so. But this protection, the primary limitation on this is that within the work environment, there is a limit on the extent to an employee's privacy. Okay. Now, if it's a lockbox that's allowed for the employee to put their personal things and that nature, even though it's in the workplace, that's still going to be a private area. And then primarily communications. Okay. If the employee uses an employer system like their computer, their email account, their server, their web chat, any of these things as a communication medium, then the employer can definitely monitor that. The employer can check the websites they visit. They can check the server logs for email sent. They can do any of these things because that's on their server and their property. There's no expectation of privacy there, even to the extent that the employer provides the employee with a work phone. Okay, there may be the ability for the employer to review those records to see what calls were made, et cetera. There's still limits though on the ability to record the phone call, again, without notifying the employee that it's being recorded. Okay, so these are the primary limits there. So lots of times you'll see justifications for security and things like that. Security cameras will not have audio associated with them, or if they do have audio associated with them, the employer goes to extensive means to explain that to the employee to let them know that they are being recorded. Their audio communications are being recorded. And then the Employee Polygraph Protection Act, that is, employers can't require employees to take a polygraph as a condition of employment. Now, there are exceptions to this as well for certain types of jobs, such as government jobs or private contractor jobs with the government, criminal enforcement sometimes type jobs that are exempt from that, and polygraph can be a part of the application process. And once an employee is employed by an employer, there are less protections there, and there is a limited right for employers to employ a polygraph or something like that as a condition of employment.